I think
Yeah.
that you said you've only been playing for like professionally or semi-pro for 6 months.
This is 6 month, yeah. And I started getting, I was playing in pubs and mates' houses for years. Looking back, I was terrible and a complete fish and obviously didn't know what I was doing. And then I started getting coaching. Yeah. I started getting coaching like 2 and a bit years ago. And that taught me all the fundamentals and just blew my mind. And that's when I started going to the casino and playing maybe once a week, you know, literally walking into me like 200 chips, please.
Yeah, I miss those days.
Yeah. And then sitting down and just never bluffing and, you know.
Oh man, that was your tendency. Mine was to always bluff.
No, I was the opposite. Like, I'm not one of those crazy people that needs to be tamed. I was more timid and developed aggression and still need.
Yeah, I still feel like that monster's waiting inside of you and it needs to come out for you to really annihilate poker.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
It's actually, I always say that I would rather coach someone who's a monster and needs to be tamed, because it's much easier to learn to tame yourself than it is to learn to express the monster.
Yeah.
There are a lot of ways I think can do that. And whilst you're playing small stakes sit and goes, I might advise to try and just release the monster and just try and own people as much as possible. Maybe play some like online tournaments where people are actually going to fold a bit more, and just try and own people, or just play some like 10NL and just try and absolutely annihilate people. Just bluff all the whole time, like play a relatively normal pre-flop, but when you're post, I'm going to fucking win this hand. I'm going to make the craziest 3-bet bluff shove on the river. And if it doesn't work, fuck it, I'll try again.
Yeah.
Because when you are bluffing every single spot, you start to very quickly work out, if you are a quick learner like you start to very quickly work out which spots you're just burning money in and which spots you're not. Whereas if you don't have that and you don't try bluffing every single spot, you don't find all the cool little spots that other people don't.
Yeah.
I think a lot of that, and I'm sure you'll be able to do this without too much guidance from anyone else, but a lot of your poker success, if you do want to be like, you know, eventually get to the high rolls and stuff, I think will be coming from releasing whatever intense, competitive, let's say masculine energy is just like bubbling at the bottom.
Yeah.
What do you think?
That makes sense. Yeah. Let release the beast, if you will.
Yeah.
And then let's control him. Yeah. Because if you don't go through that, then you're never able to summon him in the right situations. Yeah.
And the beast turns out to be pretty good at poker, because you gotta be damn competitive, and sometimes you gotta want to win every hand, because there are some spots where you can win every hand. All right, let's get back to. Can you share your screen again?
Yes. There we are. And then you did something, didn't you?
Yeah, I got it. I ain't a professional.
Lovely.
All right.
I had this one as an interesting hand.
Does this star mean you've got it as an interesting one?
Yeah.
Right. Can you see my mouse, by the way?
Yeah.
Oh, sick. Hello.
Yes, I've seen a mouse before.
I just didn't know if you could at the moment. So now this dude's opening smaller.
Yeah.
What do we make of that?
Based on the last hand, if he's opening big for strength, I assume he's not a strong hit.
Yeah, I'm definitely behind shoving in this spot. Okay.
Well, I did think about raising, which could be a shove in this case, but that's the beast not being released. That's the. That's exactly it.
Thank you for perfectly illustrating my point.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just think that if he's not got all of his like ace king through ace jack, maybe ace queen, there's just enough just like fucking 10-9 offs and jack 10 offs that's just gonna fold to a shove.
Yeah.
Plus we have 30% if we're called, so I'll take it.
Yeah.
The good thing about calling though is that first of all, suited, you get to play a lot more hands aggressively, because if you flop flush draw, you just get to check shove on these stack sizes or check raise or whatever.
Yeah.
And because we have an ace, people love to see their ace high boards because it favors them. So we usually get at least a C bet out, which if they don't have stupidly small C bets, is usually quite a lot of chips. So yeah,
Cool.
I would definitely raise it.
Okay.
You just got to protect your hand. You don't want him to be able to see like the river for free when we just always have the best hand. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, I mean, I'm 100% calling because he's repping only pocket threes, but
yeah, that's what I thought.
It's also always threes, which is unfair.
Yeah, I think I did everything wrong this hand.
No, I mean, I'd still call the river. When it's somebody that's spazzy, you just have to assume that sometimes they're spazzing out with just like king deuce.
Yeah.
So no, it's all good. To play the turn, fine. The check was great. Actually, you know, I'd probably lead the turn. No, I'm saying that. Leading the turn's a sick idea. Let's get to the turn. So yeah, so he's min bet now, and we've not check raised because whatever. On this turn, what happens is a lot of his hands, like Queen 10, Queen Jack, Queen 9, 9 8, 10 8, Jack 8, 10 7, Jack 7, 9 7. They all have pair and straight draws, and we beat them.
Yeah.
So we're kind of resigned to like, okay, if he has a better hand, we're probably going to be losing a bunch of chips, whatever, maybe a whole stack. But because he's going to be checking back so many hands we beat, it's actually a really, really good spot to lead.
And if he raises that lead, like if he jams?
I don't know. Just cry. Leave. Okay. Yeah, it's you just have to judge where you think he's bluffing ever.
Yeah.
Like if you lead big and he shoves, I'm probably calling because we've got odds anyway. But if he has like Jack 10, we've got a bunch of outs.
Yeah.
If you lead small and he shoves, probably calling because sometimes people get induced when you bet small.
Mm-hmm.
Find whatever excuse you can to call. Just my advice.
Fair
enough. That was a joke. No, don't
do that. Okay. Oh yes, I've got like hardly any chips now.
Yeah, we're shoving this.
Lovely.
Good.
There we go.
Have at it. Love it.
You want some of this? You, sir?
All right, we're gonna need a hold. Here we go. Jacks. Have jacks. Ace 6. Well, technically, he's made a good call.
Yeah.
If you knew our hand, great call.
Thank you, dealer.
Appreciate it, dude.
What are the blinds here? 8.
Same. Got 20 bigs.
Yeah.
Open Allen. Yeah. Oh, not 340.
You've done it again.
Oh, and you've gone for it again. He's like, dude, I'm telling you, I have a good hand. Oh, wow. He's balanced. Who would have thought? Allen 43. It's balanced.
Yeah, having spoken to you now, that's not a jam.
Yeah, I mean, it's different the second time around because now it's like less likely that he's only going to be doing it with aces, but you know, still maybe it is more likely because you've seen him do it with ace king and then you've seen him do 3 smaller. So yeah, I'll probably just call.
Okay.
King queen off though for 20 bigs is a beautiful hand to shove. You have so much equity when you get called. You have like the best blockers basically.
Yeah.
And yeah, you don't even block the ace 5 suiteds that are going to be opening or ace 5 offs that are going to be opening and folding. Mm-hmm. It's just it's a very nice spot to shove. But against that size, probably cool. Cool thing about king queen is it hits a lot of top pairs.
Yeah.
And if it hits a gut shot, then it has a lot of outs. Good. You're opening to not quite min, but just over min. Yeah. You got to do that online for people that are watching this. You got to open usually not just min raise if you want to have maximum fold equity. If you want to standardize your raise sizes and you're playing like a tournament, make it 2.01 or 2.09x. It's basically the same, but it's not a min raise. And I even have it when people min raise, I'm like, attack it. I just see it, I'm just like, fucking attack the min raise. Whereas if someone 2.09s it, no one knows that's 2.09x. No one knows they're 2.09 times tables.
Yeah, they just know it's more than 2x.
Yeah. And sometimes it looks like there's loads of chips in the pot as well. So live, you got to kind of do the same thing. You just got to find the smallest size you can that looks big enough not to be in min raise. So if it's like 612, I'll make it like 26 or 27k. I won't make it 25k because everyone else will be raising like 25k, and everyone's like, that's basically a min raise.
Fair.
Yeah. And if it's like 20k, 40k, I'll make it like 80, 86k, something stupid.
Okay.
Love that you're raising. Well, okay. So technically, with most of your hands, you're not meant to be raising this big on these stack sizes. Yeah. So you meant to be like 2.01 it or whatever. With ace king, I'll probably raise bigger. Probably 3x it or 2.5x it or something. Just because you want more chips going in the pot. Oh my god. Again.
It's
it's the same hand. Don't worry about it.
No, you can't get ace king twice in a row. It's
yeah,
not possible.
Ridiculous.
It's not mathematically possible.
I assume we play this then.
Cool. What happened?
I hope we open.
Oh yeah. We'll open it. Too big. Oh, goodbye.
Yeah, just make 250 there.
Okay.
And if you have two very aggressive players, you can actually just fold it. But usually I'm just opening this. Please don't open that.
Hello.
Hello, the dishwashers. Is
that sexist?
Yeah. I feel like people know me well enough that I can make sexist jokes now and know that I'm not going to be sexist. So it's actually kind of like ironically funny.
Yeah, you're making fun of sexist people.
Yes. Hide behind that, guys. Wait, did we just... he 3-bet? Yeah, good fold.
3-bet, yeah.
Damn. Is that aces? Yeah.
He calls.
Strong call. Yeah, so people out there know if someone's 3-betting small off a short stack, then it's probably aces, which is actually a very cool bluff to make against kind of good players. If you have like 15 bigs or like 17 bigs and you just 3-bet, just like 6 bigs against 2 bigs or against 2.5 even. Repping aces, man. Nice.
Do we play this?
Oh, we have 34 more hands. Okay, I can do that. Yeah, again with this, I would actually probably raise it again because people seem to be folding like a reasonable amount at this point. This guy, if we raise it to like 3x, he knows we're calling a shove. That's actually something really cool that I like doing in tournaments. If you say you're on the button and you have like a billion bigs, the small blind is on like 20 bigs and the big blind is on like 5 bigs, or like let's say 7 bigs. Let's say you have like king deuce off. I like 3xing it on the button. Not only does it tell the big blind that we're going all in if he shoves, which makes him less likely to shove, it also looks stronger to the small blind. And if you're watching at home, sorry if this isn't super clear, you can just rewind and listen to what I'm saying. But it also makes it harder for the big blind to defend and stop and go us as well. So it's a pretty cool thing. I've been doing it for like 3 or 4 years, and the high rollers have actually started doing it because I think theory says you should be doing it now, which is cool. But yeah, it's not that kind of information. Poker's a very like trickle down information kind of thing. That little bit a nugget hasn't really reached the lower stakes yet.
Get it while you can.
Yeah, so I usually only do it with bad hands, and then with aces I'll just min raise. But then if you're playing against like a reasonably good player, in let's say the small blind is like a pretty good reg, I'll start only doing it with like ace king or aces or something, because I've seen people just go crazy with the small blind there to shove in like fucking like king deuce off.
Yeah.
Because they're like, I know that trick. You'd never do that with aces. Oh no, my chips.
Aces.
I'll leave then, shall I?
Yeah, people are pretty tight when it comes to like when there are less players near the end.
It's fewer players.
Yeah, sorry, yeah.
We're here for coaching, so I'm going to be coaching you on grammar as well.
Fair enough. My grammar's pretty good, actually, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, that's why I felt like I could correct you because you're very well spoken.
Just a hand dealer would be nice. There we go.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, so it's such a live player thing to even think.
He's gone pretty big there again. He's gone like over 4x.
Yeah, kudos to him if he's got aces, but we're not folding jacks.
Oh,
Holy shit, have aces. Oh,
look at that.
yeah. Nice set.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe a set will be enough.
No, no. If only you could slow roll on mine now and do that.
Oh my God, the dream. I got a friend, he finally chose his first spot to ever slow roll with a nut flush, and he was up against the straight flush.
Oh, wow.
Two card straight flush. Oh, I like this. There you go. You've done the big raise thing on the big blind when he's short and everyone else is big. I know it's your normal
No,
raise
actually, that
size.
was the reason. Yeah.
You've done it. It's great. And
Let's
now
go
we
at
got,
it.
oh my God, please call. Yes. Jack. Oh, okay. Wow, Alan's just had enough. Had enough of your shit. The cool thing is, if you're one tabling these, you do get to pay very close attention to dynamics, which is going to be very relevant in sit goes. So like sit goes have some really specific dynamics in tournaments as well. I have some really specific dynamics that you won't get if you're playing cash. So I would say if you can try and like full table these sit and goes, just because you'll get more practice in just playing.
Okay.
But there are upsides to just one tabling as well. So on this, it's like 3 paid, right? So you're on the bubble.
Yeah.
So technically you're meant to be going pretty mental here. Then re-technically adding the variable that other people still don't pay attention to the bubble because it's low stakes, you've actually got to play tight again. Okay. And then even more re-technically, and it's kind of nonsensical at this point, then you are going to be playing winner takes all. So you're going to have to gauge at the time whether people are going to get tight into the winner part when there are a few people left, or whether they're not.
Sure. What happens there?
But I guess something to say would be, don't be afraid to just start opening like king deuce off in this spot if like the big blind's real tight and everyone else is playing relatively tight as well.
Because we're on the bubble.
Not on the bubble. I mean, in your single, so
okay.
The bubble's heads up. But yeah, I would say that it's going to be a decent percentage chance that when you get there, people are probably going to just like go, because it's like a high energy, emotionally charged situation. People's tendency when they're in big money situations they're not used to being in, their tendency is just kind of like tighten up.
Yeah.
So don't be afraid to exploit that hard, because that's where a lot of your EV is going to be. Nice. Like an example would be in the main event in the WSOP. If you're a professional and you get there with like 30 big blinds, you've got a bubble bullying stack, because everyone there is so scared of bubbling. Even if they're on like 70 bigs, they're like, well, if he stacks me, then I have 40 bigs, then I have no bubble. What? No. And yeah, you can just, if you're on a table of all recreational players, you can just be opening 100% from all positions off.
How close to the bubble would you start doing that?
Just trying to feel it out, feel out the table. Let's say like 2,000 people cash, probably around like 2,500.
Okay.
But yeah, it really does depend on the table, and it's something that isn't very easily taught because there's so many different spots you can be in, but it's something that can quite easily just be felt. As long as you're open to that possibility of just playing every single fucking hand. I'd probably actually just check back here. C-betting small is definitely fine.
Such a dry board.
Sorry, a second.
Well, I thought like it's a dry board. People are playing tight now. I can have a king here. Don't know if that's good thinking though.
Probably not the best, because you do have showdown value, so you're not really thinking about bluffing too much. The hands that are going to be folding that you want to fold are just like ace highs and stuff that have, or like, I don't know, like queen 7 suited if he is defending that. But a lot of hands that he has do connect with this board, like some king x, some 9x, some jack 10s, queen jacks, and they're probably always going to be calling or shoving. Yeah, I guess just calling. And a lot of hands he's probably just going to have no equity, like 6, 7 suited, or like, pocket fours, and you can just check down and try and win it instead of burning the money.
Yeah.
But in general, as a general tendency, this is quite a specific spot. As a general tendency, you just want to be c-betting small, because you get to fold out a lot of hands with just a small c-bet.
Yeah.
So yeah, like
and ace jack.
Yeah. So at what stack size would you start shoving this?
When I have like 15 to 20 here.
So he has less than 20 bigs. He's got like 15 bigs. So it doesn't matter what your stack size is. It matters what what the effective stack size is.
Yeah. Then I guess here is a shove.
I
mean, he's flatting though, like kind of. I don't know. Maybe it's pessimistic, but is he going to call a shove if he's just flatting?
Probably not, but you kind of don't care if he folds because you get the small blinds. Well, you get his 160 plus you get the antes as well.
Yeah, and if he does say "fuck it, let's go," I'm most likely ahead.
Correct. And in this spot, if someone has a tendency to just be limping only weaker hands, you can just go mental here. You can probably shove like king deuce off. Even if you're not super sure if they have that tendency, if you're very sure they have that tendency, then you can shove almost any two. But I tend not to go too crazy. I tend, if I have like deuce three off, just like 4x it. And then they're folding most of their hands anyway.